Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a story that is not just about innovation but about geopolitical significance and the exciting rise of African tech. We are talking about Terrahaptix, an Abuja based startup that has just secured about $11.8 million in funding from one of the most respected and perhaps the most popular defense tech investor, Joe Lonsdale, who happens to be the co-founder of Palantir. And of course, Palantir is perhaps the largest defense company in the world in terms of defense AI software. So this is not just a statement. Terrahaptix is actually making the news. And in this episode, we are actually looking at what exactly is Terrahaptix up to, what does this defense drone startup actually do, and would they perhaps be the first, defense startup out of Nigeria, out of Africa, to actually go public on an IPO, maybe in the US stock market? What is the implication for this for Palantir? Perhaps is Palantir going to actually even have a partnership with Terrahaptix because Joe Lonsdale is now an investor. 8VC is now an investor. So let's jump right in. Before I go forward, this episode is brought to you proudly by StockerTeam.com, the platform for retail investors to get coaching guidance on how to pick winning investment. You can like this video, please subscribe to our channel, put on that notification bell so that you don't miss any update. Let's get right into it. So, who are these guys? Terrahaptix. Terrahaptix is tackling Africa's rising security crisis head-on. They are developing drone technology, and they are also actually playing in the sovereign defense systems built entirely in Nigeria, entirely in Africa. The founders of this business, of this startup, is Nathan Nwachuku, who is about 22 years old, and Maxwell Maduka, who is about 24 years old. They are really two through Gen Z innovators who are actually making waves, and Nigeria and Africa is actually very proud of them. So Terrahaptix is not just building drones, they are creating a specialized arsenal. We are talking about long-range autonomous drones, unmanned, ground vehicles, smart Sentry towers, and these are not necessarily just prototypes. These guys have gone beyond prototypes. They've gone into actual product that is now being used in the battlefield, which is basically very, very good and also very, very smart for them to be playing in this manner. They are not just having prototypes on PowerPoint, which is not solving any problem. They actually even said, based on some of their disclosures, that they are already protecting over $11 billion in critical African infrastructure. So, for instance, Nigerian hydropower plant, lithium mines in Ghana, vital assets is now being secured by Terrahaptix. CEO Nathan Nwachuku actually said, in a very, very powerful way, that Africa's rapid industrialization is pointless if the region cannot secure its assets against the growing threat of groups like ISIS, Al Qaeda, Boko Haram, all of the criminal gangs who are actually threatening Africa and perhaps even Nigeria's security integrity. So it's not just a business for Terrahaptix, it's a mission critical for the continent's future. Now, let's talk about the 11.8 million investment that Terrahaptix has exactly just raised, and how significant is this to the Nigerian defense startup, the African defense ecosystem, and what exactly should you be thinking about even as a Palantir investor through this investment? So let's talk about that game-changing fund round that has just been raised. So Joe Lonsdale, who is the founder of 8VC and also co-founder of Palantir, a company that is actually known for very, very advanced, sophisticated AI data system and intelligence. Palantir is the biggest stock in our portfolio at Stocker Team. So it's a very, very huge vote of confidence, and it doesn't just stop there. Alex Moore, a director of Palantir, has also joined Terrahaptix board. So this startup, Terrahaptix, is actually going to be getting very, very advanced advice, very, very advanced guidance and coaching, and even high level networking from these elite investors, elite tech founders. So if you actually look at the fund round that is now being raised by Terrahaptix through Joe Lonsdale as 8VC. So it's not just about the money to scale manufacturing. It's about the expertise. It's about the network. It's about the strategic validation that comes with such heavy eating investor. So other backers in this deal, for you to also know how very, very important this partnership is, we have Lux Capital, we have Rebit Capital. These firms are actually known for investing in groundbreaking, often disruptive technologies. Terrahaptix said they actually aim to use this capital to dominate cross-border counterterrorism efforts, especially what the Nigerian government is doing with the US government through the AFRICOM command. So they pride themselves on a workforce that is entirely and almost entirely composed of African engineers. They are building this tech specifically tailored for regional terrain and challenges. So ECOWAS is maintaining a state of emergency over regional extremism, and Terrahaptix is positioned itself as a technological vanguard for Africa's industrial future, which is actually a very good moat for them to actually build their business around. So now coming to how this company actually positions itself. So we have Anduril. Anduril is one of the most promising, perhaps the most advanced drone warfare and autonomous warfare equipment and hardware maker in the world. Anduril, we've done an episode on Anduril's planned IPO. They've not announced the date. I will put the link to this video towards the end of this video. So Terrahaptix can be fashioned or even compared with Anduril. Yes, Anduril is far bigger than Terrahaptix. They are doing bigger deals. The valuation of Anduril is bigger. But if you want to actually see the future of Terrahaptix, you should actually be looking at Anduril Industries, which is a very, very good one to look at the vision of this business. So now for the big question, really, could Terrahaptix become Africa's answers to something like Anduril Industries in the US? Yes, that's possible for so many reasons for what these guys have actually done. So for a starter, if you're not familiar with Anduril Industries, it was founded by Palmer-Luckey. Palmer-Luckey happens to be the same guy who actually created the Oculus VR, which Meta, parent company of Facebook, actually acquired. So Anduril is a defense tech company growing very rapidly. Like I said, they have AI powered defense systems, especially drones, autonomous platform. Anduril has disrupted the traditional defense contractor by actually moving very, very fast, and they leverage commercial technology. They also go to the field and test their technology, which Terrahaptix is also doing very, very well. So Anduril is seen as a spiritual successor in some ways to Palantir's approach in the defense space. So Palantir has dominated that software end of defense. Anduril is trying to actually dominate the hardware, autonomous AI-driven systems, drones, autonomous vehicle, and the future of Terrahaptix might actually be very, very similar, and this could actually make this company to be one of the most promising defense startup to ever come out of Africa. Of course, that is if these guys actually execute very well. They work with these visionaries, the visionary founders who are actually investing in this company to be bigger than what they are, and also be a bit more visionary what they are doing. So this company, they have this vision, the cutting edge tech that they have. Terrahaptix is actually speaking for itself. It's also very disruptive. It's also very, very needed. Drone technology is more than you can't even overemphasize the importance of drone technology in the battle against insecurity in Nigeria, especially for defense, for reconnaissance, for a whole lot of military intelligence and national intelligence that the Nigerian government and even ECOWAS actually need, or even so many other sovereign states in Africa. So the last part, which is apart from disruptive approach, Terrahaptix has that partnership indirectly with Palantir, and perhaps they could even partner with Anduril, or even Anduril could actually even acquire this company in the future. You can ever say what will actually happen, because with this partnership with Joe Lonsdale, Anduril could actually see this business as perhaps maybe an extension or a partnership that could actually give Anduril further leg into the African market. So the bigger question, which is very, very important for our viewers on this platform, on this channel, is could Terrahaptix be the first Nigerian defense startup to IPO globally? So this is where it actually gets very, very interesting. Could this company actually be the first defense startup to IPO globally out of Nigeria? So for instance, Anduril is still very private. And they've raised billions, and they regularly touted an IPO. The company has always said they will go on IPO. So they are also a massive acquisition target. We don't know if Palantir will be doing a reverse merger or acquisition of Anduril. Maybe Anduril will go public on its own. And valuations of Anduril is in tens of billions. So for Terrahaptix to actually go globally on an IPO, they will need to actually showcase that they can get more assets to protect. They can actually have much more partnership. So defense business can be very lucrative, but demonstrating a clear path to sustainable growing revenue and eventual profitability is crucial for public markets. So if they are not profitable, it could be very, very hard to go into the public market or even IPO in the US market. So also, how can they actually scale manufacturing to meet demands? So that is very, very, very important. And if you have watched this video to this point, please give us a like, subscribe to this channel, put on that notification bell so that we can continue to bring you further analysis, in-depth report on how you can actually improve your knowledge of the investing and financial markets. Now, also, this company will actually be dealing with a lot of export controls, international arms regulation, and the political sensitivities of selling defense tech, which is always very, very complex, especially when you are going on a global IPO. So defense is a very, very much more sensitive industry or environment where there's a lot of protection, there's a lot of confidentiality, national security implication. If this company is going to IPO in the US government could actually want to restrict where some of its technology might actually go. Now that this company is now not necessarily linked with Palantir directly, but indirectly, could they actually be restricted to countries where the US government has allies, or countries that the US government is very, very comfortable working with in defense wise? So beyond Africa, what is the long-term vision? Are they able to show that vision? Are they able to actually replicate what they are doing to actually scale into other regions, like I said? But that's also could actually be curtailed as well. So the fact that they have, Palantir's co-founder leading their round, a Palantir director on their board, and they are operating in a critical, underserved market. So this certainly gives them that strong foundation. these investors are not just looking for quick returns, they are looking for disruptive long-term plays with massive market potential. So if you have followed the likes of Joe Lonsdale, if you follow the likes of Palantir investors, you actually see that these guys don't think in 2-3 years, they think in 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And that was how Palantir was actually grown from nothing to perhaps the biggest defense software company in the world. Now, what could actually be, because if you actually watch this video to this point, this is the biggest bonus, this is the biggest point. What will actually be the fair valuation if this company is likely to IPO? We don't have any idea whether this company will even ever IPO, or they will actually just exit by selling this company to the likes of Anduril, or even a Palantir, or even Boeing, or perhaps they could actually even maybe go under if they don't run this business properly. Nothing is certain in business, nothing is certain in this kind of industry. They need to actually put in the good work. So if they eventually plan to go on an IPO and they make it to that point, let's look at what exactly Anduril is valued at. That could actually give us an idea. Yes, they are far smaller than Anduril. Anduril is a bigger giant than Terrahaptix. Well, Anduril's private valuation has reportedly reached about 8 billion, and they are targeting a 10 billion mark. They have a longer track record and they are operating a massive US defense market. Traditional defense contractors are often, they trade around lower multiples, but tech-driven defense companies like Palantir or potentially Anduril can command much more higher multiples due to their software and AI components, and their growth potentials as well is also factored into their valuation and multiples. So Palantir, for instance, has traded at a very, very high revenue multiples post IPO, though it actually come down, but Palantir has even gone far higher and perhaps is the most highly valued tech company in the world. So Africa's security spending is growing. The market for securing critical infrastructure against asymmetric threat is enormous and urgent. So Terrahaptix is actually tapping into this market, but they desperately need to innovate very, very fast. With little existing local competition at this scale, they could actually be sitting pretty, but they actually need to be very, very fast. So bringing this to a close, we need to actually look at what exactly is the future of Terrahaptix. So with Joe Lonsdale and Palantir's implicit endorsement, Terrahaptix has jumped into that global stage. Their journey from an Abuja startup to potentially the first Nigerian or African tech unicorn or defense startup to perhaps maybe go globally on an IPO is something that every investor needs to watch very, very closely. It's not just about drones, it's about securing a continent's future. Nigeria has challenges with security. The country is tackling it head on with the likes of the US under the African Command, with the likes of Turkey, with the likes of so many other regional players. And so if Terrahaptix is going to be providing some of these drones, some of these defense, equipment and hardware that is driven by AI, is actually going to position them in a very strong way. But everything is still hinged on their execution, their discipline, their vision, and their ability to be able to take a lot of feedback and build and scale this business head on. So what do you think about Terrahaptix? Can they go all the way? Let us know in the comments. I really, really want to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into tech and finance, and hit that notification bell. We really, really want to make you get all of the new videos that we've done. Like I said, if Terrahaptix, which is the biggest feedback, and also what exactly is that valuation that this company could actually trade at? Do you have an idea? We have an idea. We think this business could actually go on into the market, if they eventually go into the market less than about $2 billion, because they might not be able to get those bigger US deals that could get them into the 5 billion, 10 billion valuation before they go into the IPO. That's the bonus. That's what we think. So let's hear from you. Thank you so much. This video, like I said, is brought to you by StockAtom.com, the platform for retail investors to get coaching, guidance on how to pick winning and sustainable stocks to build a long-term portfolio. Go to StockAtom.com today and become a member for just $10 per quarter. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.